And that's why I think the Lange 1 is the most iconic watch the brand's ever made. Hello, welcome to Swiss Watch, welcome to another review. Today we have a brand on the channel which we featured before. If you remember, a while back we featured the Lange 1 Times on the channel, and also in the latest interview Michael Biersack showed us his 1815 chronograph. Today we're going to talk about the Lange 1 watch from A.Lange Söhne. The Lange 1 from Lange Söhne is the most iconic collection they made, and also they built up the collection and added different complication to the models. After the fall of the Berlin Wall in '89, Walter Lange set out to create the new generation of Lange Söhne watches. The Lange 1 was actually launched in '94 alongside the Saxonia, the Arcadia and the Tourbillon pour le Mérite. Why do so many collectors love the Lange 1 watch and its design and the dial? It's actually very subconscious. It has to do with something we call in the photography field the rule of thirds, or more precisely the golden ratio. Let me show now in this example how the rule of thirds applies on this dial. If you cover the right side like this, you cover the date and the small seconds indication, you can see that the left side of the dial now is occupying 2/3 of it. If you cover the lower part, you can see it actually has 1/3 on the top, which just has the date window. Also, if you do like this, you have the rule of thirds on the second sub-dial. And also if you take the middle third, you can see the power reserve and the time indication because you cover the date and the small second sub-dial. So you see, the golden ratio really applies here, and it works consciously and subconsciously. At first glance, the asymmetrical design language might throw you off a bit, but once you get used to it, it's really something you start to appreciate, and it also stands out from other watch brands. The model here features a beautiful black dial, which looks a bit matte, and the sub-dials for the seconds indication and the time indication are a bit sunken. What Lange Söhne watches are also known for is their big date indication, which we have here at 1 o'clock. You can actually use it very easily, because at 10 o'clock here you have the pusher to change it. It's very smooth and feels almost like a chronograph. All the golden parts on the dial are actually made out of solid gold and are beautifully polished. At 9 o'clock you have the slightly sunken hour and minute indication with Roman numerals at 12, 3, 6 and 9 o'clock, and the indexes in between have this diamond-like shape, and they're all beautifully polished and applied. The small seconds indication is off-centered as well, here at 5 o'clock, and actually this watch features a hacking seconds, which means once you pull the crown out, the time will actually stop. That's used to setting the time more precisely, and if you turn the watch around, you can also see that you stop the balance wheel. So now the balance wheel is running, and when you pull the crown out, it's gonna stop and block it basically. What you can also see under the dial here, it says Doppelfederhaus. That means double barrel. So this watch actually features a double mainspring barrel and has a 72-hour power reserve. The power reserve indicator spreads from 4 o'clock to 2 o'clock, and it says Auf und Ab. Auf means up means down in German. What most people say about Lange watches is that the business side is on the back. And once you turn the watch around and admire the whole movement and its structure, I think I can only agree with this sentence. Compared to Swiss watch movements, Lange Söhne use German silver. German silver gives you this warm effect. It's a bit more, bronze looking and just shimmers beautifully. And also with time it changes the color slightly. The movement this watch features is actually the 901.0 movement. And this watch is from 1999. What Lange watches are most known for is also the decoration, as you can clearly see here. And if you think about that this watch was actually launched in the 90s, the type of finishing and the quality is really on par and also competing with the Swiss manufacturers. Throughout the whole 3/4 bridge here, which is typical for German watchmaking, you can see they have the Glashütte stripes, because we are in Glashütte and not Geneva. The side of the bridge on this side and also these cutouts in the middle and the lower part have also beautiful englage. If you didn't know, these cutout parts here are actually for easier servicing, so the watchmaker doesn't have to take down the whole plate, but can only take down this or this part, depends on what he thinks is wrong with the movement. What I also really love is the gold chatons Lange Söhne watches have, which are screwed down with beautifully heat-blued screws. All the screws on the movement are hand polished, and also you can see mirror polishing on the bridge here which holds the escapement wheel, and also on the swan neck regulator. And there is also a perlage decoration under the balance wheel. What is also very typical for Lange watches is that the balance cock here is actually hand engraved. And what's cool is that if you go to the factory with your watch, they might be able to, figure out who actually engraved your movement. What you can also see on the movement are the, few inscriptions, Lange Söhne here, and also you can see that this watch has been regulated to 5 positions. Let me now put the watch on the wrist so you guys can see how it fits me. As you can see, the watch features a tank buckle, which is in 18 karat rose gold, polished, and has the Lange name on it. Turning the watch around, let me tell you, the strap is really comfortable. I would say it's, not thin, not thick, but right in the middle. Also, you can notice that the watch is not that high. It's in fact 9.8 millimeters tall. And once you turn the watch around, you can see how it fits my 18.1 centimeter wrist. The model I have here has a 38.5 millimeter case. If you want a bigger Lange 1 watch, that's also an option. There's a Grand Lange which exists, which has a 40.5 millimeter case diameter. The model I reviewed today here is pre-owned, and if you want to know more about it, check the link in the description. If you want to buy a new Lange 1 model, you have to account for spending 33.9 thousand euros. If you're a fan of the channel, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe and also like this video, and also share it with somebody who loves Lange watches. I'm also curious to know which is your favorite Lange Söhne watch from their collection, and also what you think about the Lange 1 model. On the side you have a photo of a watch we'll be reviewing next time. This is, in my opinion, the most difficult one to guess, but if you're brave enough and you know which one this is, don't hesitate, type it in the comments, and I'll see you next time.